AB, I was thinking about this yesterday. Is there a player in college football, maybe not on a down-to-down basis, but that has made more big plays on the defensive side of the football than Mikey Sainristil this year? You think of his 2 picks against Maryland that came in crucial spots. A big hit against Ohio State. Pick 6 against Michigan State. A game-changing pick 6 against Rutgers. I'm obviously missing some. He had 2 forced fumbles in the Big Ten championship game. I mean, when this team needs a play on defense, Mikey Sainristil, you could add a few other guys in that list. I feel like Jalen Harrell has been clutch this year, a couple other guys, but Mikey Sainristil, for the most part, has been that guy.
Yeah, he has been that guy. And it kind of goes back to when you look back to the play he made in last year's Ohio State game. Since then, it's just been a calendar year full of great play after key play. Every time they need a play, like you said, he's been the guy that steps up. So again, I mean, I feel like when a lot of these, and I'm just looking at it through the Senior Bowl lens, pro football, the stock lens of the draft, I feel like a lot of these teams are going to flip on the film. And yeah, the measurables, we'll see what those wind up being. They're going to look at a guy that will come up and hit you. They're going to look at a guy that is adept at forcing turnovers, creating turnovers. I feel like he's a guy that I could see him doing what he's doing now at the next level for a very long time. The instincts are there, the playmaking ability is there, and the clutch gene. That's not something. Listen, I mean, I'm not taking away from Rod Moore's interception at the end of the Ohio State game. That's a great play, but also a fortuitous play, right? But in a moment where you need a play and the guy is in position to make one, Mikey Sainristil, in terms of any player on this team, I think would probably be at the top of this list, offense or defense. So, yeah, kudos to him for sure.
I actually think, too, next in line, we've already kind of seen it. I think Rod Moore is right in that mold, too. You see the pick there. I mean, remember his freshman year being the guy on the 4th down stop against Penn State? That was his first career start. Led Michigan in tackles against Ohio State a couple weeks later as a true freshman, a kid from Ohio that kind of has that chip on his shoulder. But I feel like he's in that mold. And it'd be great, obviously, for Michigan to get him back and some of these other guys back for another year. I know that's a big talking point at this time of the year as well.
Can I just say one more thing about Mikey really quick?
Of course.
When you make the type of plays that he has made in the types of moments that he's made them, that's the type of stuff, to me, that puts you in the conversation with, the Aiden Hutchinsons and some of those other guys that, we hear Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh will call anyone a Michigan legend for just making a single play. But the amount of plays that he's made, I mean, I feel like time is going to be very kind to Mikey Sainristil. So, I mean, he's right up there for me with Aiden Hutchinson, with Jabril Peppers, with Devin Bush. He's in that conversation.
Well, and it's the leadership, too, that he's brought. And when you think of the year that everything kind of changed for Michigan coming off of 2020, Aiden Hutchinson obviously led the charge, but Mikey Sainristil was on the leadership council that year. He was part of that group that was just becoming upperclassmen that year that also helped change things. And look, I mean, Aiden Hutchinson obviously should have left and became the number 2 pick. But, so obviously there's no blame there. But just in terms of the fact that Mikey Sainristil and some of these other guys have been there longer as part of this turnaround and now 3 straight Big Ten championships, I think you have to add that into the equation as well, the longevity. And obviously it's all age there and kind of chance a little bit because Aiden would have done the same thing had he been, a couple of years behind there with these guys. But he was part of it at the beginning. And then he, saw that turnaround, and guys like Mikey kind of took the torch and ran with it.
For sure. And it's crazy to think, just go back to 2022 spring ball where this is a position change that's suggested. And you're like, oh, they need to replace Daxton Hill. That's the first round pick. He's made some plays as well. But to have it go to basically have Daxton Hill's quote unquote replacement step in as a former wide receiver and not only play up to that level, but surpass it's special. And he's a guy that is certainly deserving of any recognition he gets.
No doubt. It seems like they're trying to bring in that type of replacement. The transfer portal right now, Upton Stout out of Western Kentucky, seems like he's trending to Michigan. I know our guy, Anthony Broome, on the other side there has an article ready for his potential commitment. So we will see what happens there. But Michigan searching for the next guy. But I mean, that was probably the best position switch. I'm not the historian or the authority on this, but I mean, certainly the best I've seen in terms of one side of the ball to the other, and maybe even within one side of the ball. But uh, you know, that's the best in Michigan history I've seen, and probably right up there with any other ones going back, 144 years of Michigan football.